Live from Melbourne, this is 7 News with Jennifer Kite.
Good evening. After 210 days and 23,000 nautical miles, teenage sailor Jessica Watson is tonight finally on dry land after sailing into Sydney Harbour. Seven's Paul Kadak is there, and Paul, what an amazing reception.
That's right, Jen. 10 hours for me, but it's been 210 days for Jessica. But she's done it. She's achieved her dream, sailed around the world solo at the age of 16, the youngest ever. Now, the yacht she did it in, Pink Lady, is on temporary display here at the National Maritime Museum, part of Australia's history. Sunrise on a Saturday, but one Australian teenager wasn't sleeping in.
I managed a couple of hours sleep, but I think I'm running on excitement.
Jessica Watson getting her Pink Lady ship shape for a triumphal entry into Sydney Harbour. Way offshore, she was joined by a growing armada of supporters. Boats, big and small, aircraft, also small and big.
It's just all building up, so I've got, a fleet of boats around me and more boats joining us.
Inside the harbour, another armada was gathering, but it had to wait. Jess was running late, 2.5 hours as it turned out.
So I got blowing actually north of Sydney a little bit, and at the moment I'm actually beating my way back southwest, into the wind and to Sydney Harbour.
Crowds gathered on shore, at the Opera House, kept watch from Farm Cove, on ferries, the Harbour Bridge. Her mum fretted, as only a mother can.
She's in her shorts out there, can you believe it?
At 1:45, a kilometre to go.
This is very punishing for the young girl. You can see her on deck there now.
Then finally, at 1:53. She's done it. After 210 days and 23,000 nautical miles, Jessica Watson has sailed around the world. Authorities battled to keep sightseers back.
She wants to get changed in some decent clothes, and she just put the washboards in and told everyone not to look.
Now others could come aboard. Customs and fellow solo sailors Jessie Martin and Mike Perham.
I'm completely overwhelmed. I just don't know what to think and what to say at the moment, so it's all a bit much.
Paul Kadak, 7 News.
There were tears of joy and just a few wobbles as Jessica got her land legs back. Speaking to a crowd of more than 10,000, she encouraged young people to find a dream and work hard to chase it.
She'd spent so long battling with every fibre to stay on board this boat, letting go was a little hard. Into the arms of Mum and Dad for an embrace that was 7 months in the making. And when they finally unwrapped, having hardly used her legs, she was a little unsteady.
Welcome back! Home is the sailor, home from the sea.
Then she was off to catch the very last wave of her journey. The wave of adulation and admiration from this Opera House crowd.
The official greeting on behalf of the nation and the state of New South Wales by both the Prime Minister and then the Premier, Kristina Keneally. Once that ceremony was finished, Jessica was then to go off to have half an hour with her family, some time just to be one-on-one in private, without cameras, without officials, without any media or anyone watching, just some quick and intense catch-up time before she then had to go and front the press conference. A 30-minute press conference just around the corner here on the eastern side of the Opera House, where she will be barraged by questions from a media that has been dying for this moment for 7 months. It was a truly extraordinary moment as she stepped down here. A hero's welcome and a fitting one.
It started out as something that was a personal challenge, and it's become so much more, and it's amazing to be able to share it and inspire other people.
Jessica had ventured into the unknown as an unknown. Today, a genuine Australian idol.
You may feel a little wobbly on your feet just now, but in the eyes of all Australians, you now stand tall as our newest Australian hero. You know, at 16 years old, you are a hero for all young Australians. You are also a hero for all young Australian women. You do our nation proud.
Our community is at its best when we come together, whether it's to overcome a challenge or to celebrate human achievement. And today we celebrate yours. You have inspired us. You have reminded us what is all possible. You have reminded us to follow our dreams. And this is what you have given to Sydney today, a wonderful gift. And you see, on this harbour, our way of saying, thank you, Jessica, thank you, and welcome home.
After so much solitude, she was today at the other extreme, the centre of a sea of humanity and good wishes.
Hip, hip. Hip, hip. Hip, hip.
At her press conference, a glimpse of the stuff that got her here.
When the times are tough, when the chips are down, when you're feeling like it's all too hard, how did you pick yourself up and keep going?
Yeah, well, the first question, how do you do it? I mean, it's not an easy question to answer, but you know, there's so much involved, a great support team, a well-prepared boat, you know, the practice, the adventures beforehand. But I think the main thing is that what you really need, the only thing you really need is just the passion. You've got to believe in it. If you want something bad enough, you can find a way to make it happen. And the thing that picked me up, I suppose, in the tough times is having come through other tough things. Like the day I sailed in after the collision, you know, and holding my head high with the critics. I always look back on that day when things were tough, when it was a storm, we're being knocked down, or something, you know, not great was happening, I was lonely, or anything. I always look back on that day and, you know, go, well, I held my head high then, you know, I can do this. And, you know, failing that, it was always well, the boys did it, so can I.
How daunting was it for you as you sailed in through the heads this afternoon?
Well, to start with, obviously, I mean, it was, you know, I didn't get much sleep last night and it was a busy morning with shipping and tacking back and forth, and I'm very sorry to keep everyone waiting, but I honestly had an absolutely amazing sail today. But it was daunting. It was just, you know, it was just so overwhelming. I haven't seen a person for almost 7 months, and suddenly there's just people everywhere, you know, faces, so much colour, so much noise, so much everything. You know, all I've seen for so long is just empty waves, so it was just amazing and very overwhelming, you know, because at the same time I'd achieved what I set out to.
What are you looking forward to most when you come back home?
Yeah, jog on the beach, Mooloolaba. Yeah, no, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Mooloolaba again.
What was the best moment of the entire journey, would you say?
Yeah, that's a tough question, you know, what was my favourite part? Because obviously, you know, Cape Horn and today was absolutely amazing. But I think the thing that I loved most about it was just the everyday, you know, simple life, just sailing along, you know, just getting a kick out of the small things, I suppose. You know, the big things are amazing, but the thing that I really loved is just you know, just enjoying the simple things and taking in the wind and waves.
What do you have to say to young women your age that are aspiring to do such amazing things that you've just done?
Yeah, well, it's really simple. I mean, it's just, you just got to believe in it. Anything really is possible if you want it enough and you put the effort in, and yeah, whatever it is, you can do it. Go for it.
What other adventures might be in store for you? Climbing Mount Everest? Any other adventures around the world?
No, I'd definitely love to do a bit more sailing. There's a ton of sailing and some possible racing that I'd love to get into, but for now I'm really just happy to do some more slightly normal things, have quite a few years, finish school, that sort of thing, and we'll see where the sailing takes me after that.
Teenagers come in for a lot of flack in general for sort of being regarded as being shiftless individuals with no direction. What do you say to people who are critical of your generation?
I'm sorry, but you've got to listen to everyone, you know, the critics, but I think the main thing is that, you know, right from the beginning, the people who were well informed about the trip, you know, weren't critics. You know, it's just a matter of knowing about the preparation that we did put in place. It wasn't a crazy risk, you know, it was actually very carefully planned the whole way through, and obviously a lot of people didn't realise that, and it took, you know, succeeding to find that out, but you know, we had every chance. I set off with every chance of succeeding. I mean, there were still huge variables, you know, the weather, you can't control that. But the things that we did, you know, to minimise the risk was, you know, it was a lot. We put a lot of effort into that.
And for those who'd questioned her record attempt,
if I haven't sailed around the world, I'm a bit lost as to what I've just spent the last 7 months doing.
7 months ago, Jessica Watson was a little-known Queensland teenager. Today, experts say she's her own international brand.
The only thing you really need is just the passion. You've got to believe in it. If you want something bad enough, you can find a way to make it happen.
Chris Reason, 7 News.
What an achievement.